think a lot of times people say, oh, it didn't work for this reason, for that reason, and that reason, when really she's saying you can be intentional about it. You can, you have the ability to affect even the way your brain functions.
Exactly.
So none of us are beholden to the circumstances of the day, the differences that we all carry as men and women. We can do something about it.
Well, we're here with our kitchen couples, Mike and Diane Clemens, and Dan and Danielle McCauley. Great to have you guys with us. We've got our A Better Us mugs.
Okay.
Well, that's some pretty fascinating stuff from a cognitive neuroscientist. And so she's brilliant, really. And she has a lot of great stuff and books and everything.
According to
We are neuroplasticians.
That's what Ron said to me while she was talking. Did you know you're brilliant? Okay.
And so, first of all, it doesn't take a brain surgeon to know that men and women are different. Okay.
Very different. Very different. Okay. And the idea that men typically process things at the end of the day in their cave, and women process outwardly, verbally, with lots of emotion.
That's right.
Lots of words.
Lots of words. You know, I think that was spot on. She hit the nail on the head. And I love at the end, she said, you need to go into each other's minds. And I'm thinking, if Ron did that, he'd say, boy, it's crowded in here. So much words, so much happening in here. But it's true, isn't it?
Yes,
we do.
very
We
true.
verbalize at the end of the day. We need to talk to him.
Absolutely.
It's hard for me, as I'm not wired that way, okay? But my mind, I guess, I can build those networks if I know that's one of her
He's
important
under
needs.
construction. Let's just put it that way.
We all are. We all are.
He's up.
And so I try to, pull myself out of the cave a little bit because I know she needs to have that communication at night.
Do you guys do that too? Do you
The
find
wonderful
that too?
surprise, though, here is that I am the outward guy, and
I
she is the inward.
We're opposite. Like, we're totally opposite. I'm the guy, and he's the girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird,
Okay,
but it works.
Let me get this straight.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, Mike, you
Yes.
process outwardly.
Very, very much so. Yes, absolutely.
I can see with his hand.
Yes,
Very-
absolutely.
So, okay.
And I'm more the inward, so it's funny how that works.
So it's not the same for every couple, obviously.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, and we recognize that
Yeah.
later on. We figured out, like, hold on.
But it didn't take me long, because
I'm more like the guy here, and you're more like the girl. This is weird, but
And there's nothing wrong with that. Because
absolutely.
We talk in generalities quite a bit when we talk about men and women, but there are the exceptions to the rule.
And I think the idea here is that we generally are opposites. Whether
Exactly.
whether it's the man or the
That's
woman,
right.
it's the idea that it is opposite. And when she spoke of speaking into these ideas, I love you, saying it often, and different things. And for me, I mean, I'm a sports guy, right? So it really is. Any great team, there's not one thing that they do. There are layers. When you have a great team, right? So you say I love you. You leave notes. It's all of these layers of things that build the quality of this marriage. So she talked about building those layers. I mean neuroscience for a football player. Little tough. The idea I can get this. We can kind of put it. Yes.
Yeah, well, a few concussions might hurt the neurology in there.
I want to hear how a musician processes
The
this.
one word
Okay.
that I was pulling from it as she was talking was intentionality. Just being intentional. That seemed to be like the main overarching thing. The idea that you're not subject to circumstances. You're not subject to your relational differences. I think a lot of times people say, oh, it didn't work for this reason, for that reason, and that reason, when really she's saying you can be intentional about it. You can, you have the ability to affect even the way your brain functions. So none of us are beholden to the circumstances of the day, the differences that we all carry as men and women. We can do something about it.
And we've journeyed through that because we are very different. I live with 3 boys, so I talk 3 times as much as all 3 of them together. My caveman over here, I think I can think of a funny time. I would always ask at the end of a weekend, he'd be gone traveling, and my introvert would have to talk with people, and then when he came home, he'd want to come into his cave, but I'd want to hear all about it.
There's someone in my cave. Wait.
I want to hear everything. You're not I would say, so how was it? And maybe I should have asked more specific questions, but he would say, good, good. And one day, I asked him, so how was it? And he was really trying, and he said, musical? And he just gave me a different word at least.
Okay.
Still one word,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
trying and he's moving in the direction that I need him to be.
Yeah, okay.
You know, sometimes I know I have to pull Ron, like he said, I have to pull him out. And sometimes all I can say is, honey, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Like,
So
just
that's
what
one
are
of the
you
questions. I know that
thinking?
question's
'Cause
coming,
he's
so
a-
okay,
Yeah.
I gotta have
not
an answer.
like Michael.
And that's
where-
how Michael is with me. It's like I'll just shut down and I won't speak a lot. And I say, well, babe, just tell me what's on your mind. Like, what is it? And I struggle trying to find those words sometimes. And I'm thinking, I'm the one that's supposed to be going, right? But, you know, I find it hard sometimes.
But
Maybe
you
we
have
d-
the perfect guy for you, though, because he's
It's a great
balanced.
balance.
It's a good
It's a
balance.
Maybe we
great
just need to train people in the Vulcan mind probe, and,
Yeah,
and you can figure out what's going on. You don't have to talk so much. But no, we need to talk. It's important.
Don't have to talk so much.
And I think that's the beauty of it. Beautiful marriage, 25 years, and we struggle. Yes, and I think that was the overriding message there is that we can struggle, and that's okay. That's
And you have
that's
to work
all
at
a
it.
part of the
You're
process, right?
still
So-
on the journey.
That's
Marriage is a
right.
journey.
Every day.
We're still
Every
on it,
single
like you said,
day.
every day.
Every
We have to make
single
the
day.
right choices.
And
All
God
right.
knew exactly what we wanted,
Yeah.
or what we
What we
needed.
needed.
We didn't know what we needed.
No.
We just thought, oh, he's cute. He's cute.
And
God knows.
he thought, oh, she's really cute. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to be back in a little bit. So more with the kitchen couple. So stay with
Stay
us.
with us.
But I can actually remember a few days ago, we just had this conversation about how I was so much more confident now as a 37-year-old than when I was 20. And he said to me, well, that's because I've been telling you you're beautiful for 16 years. And it's the little things that add up to a big thing.